Recently, we had relatives over for a couple days. We all had a great time. It was fun. And during the weekend, I gave a tour of my garden, and it was said to me, well, they know where to come in the event that the grid goes down or the apocalypse happened. And I kind of joked back, like, suppose you can't get here. What are you going to do? And this is the reason why I try and get people to garden. You at least have that skill. Even if you don't want to garden, don't have time to garden, even if you hate gardening, there may come a time where you have to do it. So what I've done is put together a list of some things that are easy to grow. Some things that, uh, well, I'll put it to you this way. I've been doing this now for 4 decades, and I know what works, what doesn't work in terms of what people who are not too keen on gardening would be interested in planting. So I came up with a criteria of what I think are the top 5 or 6 things that people who really don't want to garden or people who are just busy uh, can handle. It's not that difficult. So the criteria is, like I said, first it has to be easy to grow. If it's not easy to grow, a lot of people will just, they might plant the seed, but it's not going anywhere. The second is I want to be able to handle some shade. These are uh, plants that thrive in the sun, but they can get by with some shade. And the big thing for me was seed to harvest. I wanted something that you don't have to spend 3 or 4 months to wait to get some food. I mean, who has that kind of time anymore? So basically, uh, watermelon's out. Sweet potatoes, that's going to take you 120 days. That's too long. Peppers, Brussels sprouts, those things are not on my list deliberately. So what I've done is basically said, if I can't grow it in 65 days, it doesn't make the cut. It doesn't make my list. So what I'm showing you here is number one on my list, and these are cherry tomatoes. And the reason why they're in this container is because I do a series, Buy It or Build It. It's every Friday, where I take leftover containers, leftover mostly food containers, and repurpose them. Now, there are still too many uh, plants in here. I have to take more of these out. It's not going to work in this little bit of soil, but I'll leave 1 or 2 of these in, and that just shows you that you can grow in small containers. That's another one of my criteria. You have to be able to grow it in containers. This is just my take on it. So that's number one. And here are my newly covered potatoes, and these did not make the list because it's going to take me at least 3 months to grow these. They're doing good, but not on the list. So moving on to, here's these mushrooms again. I don't know what kind these are. It just popped up all of a sudden. So I'm going to go to number 2, which is bok choy. I have some here, but it's going to seed. But I just want to be able to show it to you. This needs to be watered, but these are greens. I'm sorry. These are peas. These are more of the tomatoes. I think these are probably not cherry tomatoes, but over here it's probably not really a good example. But this was bok choy that this has got to be ripped out because, well, it's pretty much done. It's done its job. It's over. So yeah, um, I wanted something that's popular, something that people are going to actually eat when they harvest, something that is easy to maintain, and something that, like I said, is not going to take a long time to grow. Those are uh, squash, which also did not make my list because squash needs a lot of room. These are peppers, and I'm trying to get to here. Beans, to be more precise, these are bush beans. These are on my list because they're growing in a container, which is part of my criteria. You can see there's a bunch of them here, here, here. These are easy to grow, and the bush beans, these roots only go down about 10 inches. So that's a good thing. You don't have to water the heck out of them when your roots are not that deep. Yes, you have to water more often, but you don't have to water as long. So the bok choy is 12 inches, the bush beans are about 10 inches, the cherry tomatoes are about 20 inches, and there's also radishes. I am trying to maybe get you a shot. These are the radishes. Radishes are also on the list. So you have bok choy number 1, you have bush beans number 2, radishes number 3, cherry tomatoes number 4, number 5 is lettuce. I'm clearly not going in order. So these beans here I will probably start harvesting in a few days. They need to get a little bit bigger, and you have more coming up here. And the lettuce will be number 5. I don't have any that I can show you right now, but the lettuce is 16 inches. The spinach is 18 inches. So you see where I'm going here. Less, a little bit, well, 65 days or less. So you're basically saying 2 months or less. That's a heck of a lot shorter period of time than waiting 100 days for potatoes, or 3 months for peppers. So you can get it in the ground, get it harvested, and be on your way. You're not spending a lot of time. So the last thing on my list is, well, like I said, spinach. That was the last thing on my list. Over here are onions. I just added some nutrients to the soil here and here. These are also carrots, but they're not on the list because they take longer than the 2 months that I'm trying to work with here. So that's it. I mean, basically, if you can if these can tolerate some shade, which this is in the morning, so yes, it gets the morning sun, and it gets shady over here in the afternoon, which is fine. Uh, Radishes, you can grow radishes in as little as 22 days. 45 days for bok choy, cherry tomatoes, 55 to 60 days, lettuce, 60 days, and I'm also growing Malabar spinach, which is behind me. I should have showed that to you. And the Malabar spinach is 65 days. And a lot of these can tolerate heat. So there you have it. There's my list. Those are the 5 things that you can grow that are going to be easy to manage, easy to grow, not going to take you a lot of time. So that's what I'm suggesting that you do. And I'm going to wrap this video up, let you guys get on with your day. I'm the Frugal Gardener. And remember what I always tell you, when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. I'll catch you guys on Friday for my weekly Friday session, my Buy It or Build It, where I will be repurposing another container. You guys make it a great day. And remember, when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. Catch you in a few days with a new video.